Hello, artists. Mrs. Arnold here. So excited to be back and able to make art with you guys once again. So this week, our project that we're going to be working on, it is Thanksgiving this week. So we are going to kind of go with that theme a little bit. So when we think about Thanksgiving, there are several visual symbols that come to mind that we all think about, I think, this time of year. So the first one of those is an animal. And you probably can guess that it is turkeys. So we think about turkeys a lot. Hopefully you've had the chance to do some really fun turkey themed projects while I've been gone. The next symbol that we think about a lot is the cornucopia. So that is that cone-shaped basket that has all of those fruits and vegetables overflowing and spilling out of it, all of those tasty things from the harvest this time of year. And one of those things that's oftentimes shown in the cornucopia is corn. And so the project that we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to be making our own drawing of decorative corn that's used this time of year. So when I'm talking about this type of corn, it's not just yellow kernels on the ear of corn, but it is filled with all of these beautiful, rich, warm colors. So yellows, oranges, reds, sometimes browns, sometimes like deep purples. So we are going to be making our own ears of corn, and when we are coloring those in, we're going to be using primarily the warm color family. So when we think about the warm color family, we're talking red, orange, and yellow. And we'll add a couple other colors to that, maybe purple, maybe brown. So those are going to be the main colors that we're using. And the materials that you are going to need for this project, you are going to, of course, want a piece of paper to make your art on. If it's a blank piece of paper, that is best. If all you have right now is lined paper, that is totally okay. But if you do have a blank piece of paper, even better. You're going to want a pencil to start. And you'll want either a black crayon or a black marker or a black Sharpie, just something that you can outline that pencil line with once you're done drawing, just to make it nice and bold and crisp. And then when it comes to coloring in this project, I would say the materials that work best would either be crayon or oil pastels if you have them. I'm going to be using crayon. If all you have is like markers, that's totally fine too. You can use markers. You can use whatever you have to work on this project. That's totally fine. And I can't wait to see the photos of your finished ears of corn. So let's just jump in and get started here. Alrighty, so we are going to start. I'm just kind of pulling out my materials here. I'm going to be drawing with a Sharpie instead of a pencil so that you're able to just see everything I'm doing a little bit clearer. But you can start with a pencil and go over with a Sharpie if you'd like to. So as I'm starting my first ear of corn, I'm going to make a U shape. And the top of it is about 1/3 of the way up my paper, and connecting it with that kind of curved line. To make the husks, I'm using an S-curve to draw, and I'm using overlapping so that you can see that there are several husks on one ear of corn. So seeing how those lines join up, you can see which husks are in the front and which ones are behind. So now I'm going to add my second ear of corn, and again it's that U shape with that little connecting line at the top. And I'm going to use those S lines to add all of my husks. And again, I'm just using that overlapping to make it look really realistic. And adding my third ear of corn, my U shape, my connecting line.
my S line. So this video is sped up. You don't have to be drawing this fast. So you can pause it at any point to kind of catch up with your drawing, and that's just fine. There we go. I've got all my husks. I've got all my ears of corn. And next, I'm going to start adding my kernels of corn. And so I'm going to draw a little oval here, and then I'm just going to make rows. Now, you don't have to worry about all of them being the same size or the same shape. You don't have to worry about the line being perfectly straight because corn is organic. You know, it just kind of grows in lots of different ways. Not every kernel is the same size. So I'm just making ovals in rows. If they go a little wonky or one way or the other, it's totally okay. This is the longest step. I'm going to be doing this until I fill the whole ear of corn. Once all of my ears of corn have their kernels drawn, that's when it's going to be time for us to start adding our colors. So I talked a little bit earlier about the colors that you're going to be using, but remember, you really want to focus on using the warm colors. So as a reminder, that warm color family is made up of red and orange and yellow. Remember, they're all neighbors on the color wheel, so they get along really well. So as you fill your drawing with those colors, it'll look really nice and unified. We use the word unity in art to explain that. If you want to add a few more colors, if red, orange, and yellow doesn't feel like quite enough, you can also use brown, and you can use purple. The shade of purple that I like to use is, it'll either be red violet or violet red in your crayon box. So I like to use those ones because it is the shade of purple that is closer to my warm color family than my cool color family. So it looks really nice in this project. Now I'm adding kernels to my second ear of corn, and I'm just gonna keep going. Don't mind my dog in the background barking. His name is Fagin. So many kernels on this ear of corn. My goodness. You'll see at some point here, I end up putting my marker down and just resting because my hand got tired from drawing all of those ovals. So if you need to take a minute to rest, that's totally okay. Oh, there we go, stretching out my hand. And more ovals. This one, once I was doing it, they got really started getting kind of wobbly there, and my line is not very straight, but it just reminded me of real corn that, you know, we see in real life, so I wasn't worried about it, and I just kept going. And as you're drawing your ovals, you might see as you're getting closer to the edges, you can't fit a full oval there, and that's okay. Just draw up to the line, so it's kind of like going to be a half circle as you're filling in those edges. You don't want to forget that part. Then it would look like half your corn had been eaten. Our last ear of corn here now. We're almost there, you guys. You are doing awesome. I am so proud of you. My dog is laying down now, so hopefully we won't hear him quite so much. Oh, almost there. Like maybe 2 more rows to go. Maybe 3. As my hand got tired, my ovals got smaller and smaller. Here we go. Almost there. Yes. Oh, it's complete. Awesome. Putting that cap on my Sharpie and moving on. Now I get to add color, which is the fun stuff. So I'm pulling out, I've got a 24 pack of crayons here, so I just pulled out all of the reds and oranges and yellows that I had. However many crayons you have at home, just pull out all of those warm colors, and here I am just like kind of testing out on another piece of paper to see these different shades of reds and purples, which ones I thought would work best. And I really just picked like the ones that seemed the warmest. So more like red than like blue when you're looking at the purple. So I used apricot to color in the husks of my corn. I just kind of like tested out the different crayons that I had, and I felt like apricot was the best. You'll see later in the video, I end up layering over it with a yellow as well. It just didn't feel quite right to my eye, but you might have different colors at home, so you might find the perfect shade of like tan or beige for the husks of those corn. There we go. And then I just took my brown, and at the base of each of those little husks, I just colored a little bit just to kind of give it a little bit of shadow and make it look like, those husks are overlapping and creating a little bit of shadow on each other. This step is really optional. You don't have to do it, but I just thought it gave my corn a little bit more dimension, made it look a little bit more complete and finished. I love coloring with crayons, so I always add extra detail. All right, so now finally to my kernels of corn. I'm just kind of picking random spots and coloring in. I'm just starting with one color, filling in as many kernels as just kind of feels right to me, and then I'll move on to another color. And I'll end up going back to other colors if it feels like there's not quite enough yellow or quite enough purple or whatever. So just coloring in whatever spots I think look good. Some of them are right next to each other, but I try and spread them out as much as I can. Yellow's my favorite color, so I tried to give a lot of yellow to my project. As you can see, I have like 4 different shades of orange. So as I start coloring in with the orange, I don't do quite as many spots just because I have so many shades of orange to use. It's kind of weird. In my crayon box, I had like 4 shades of orange, but then I only had 1 yellow and 1 red. I was like, whoa, that's not enough variety for me. I'm used to just having our huge crayon bins in the classroom where I can just pull out tons and tons of colors. But that's okay. It worked out perfectly. This is a darker shade of orange I'm adding in now. I think this is my favorite orange. It's called red orange. Again, I'm just kind of trying to spread out as many spots as I can. And remember, you can pause this video anytime if you need time to just catch up, if it feels like, whoa, this is going so fast. I definitely do not color this fast in real life. I had to speed this up. The reason I put my crayon down there was because I had to pet my dog. He did not like not getting pets while I was working on this artwork. I decided because I had so many shades of orange, instead of doing another orange next, I would do red first, making sure I didn't run out of room for like my reds and my purples and my browns. So I save like the other two shades of orange for the end to kind of fill in. I love all these warm colors together. They look so good. The warm color family is my favorite color family. I wonder what your favorite color family is. Do you guys like the warm color family or the cool color family better? I'm curious to know. You can leave a comment and let me know. And now I'm adding brown. Brown isn't in the warm color family. Brown is actually what's called a neutral. So we don't use the neutral color family as often in art class, but that would be brown, gray, and black. And I guess white, if you would count that as a color. But we don't use our white crayon very often unless we're working on a dark color paper. Oh my gosh, getting so close. This is looking so good. I can't wait to see all your guys' artwork. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I actually really like the way the brown kernels of corn look. I was kind of surprised. And then this one is, it's like, I can't remember if this is red violet or violet red, but this crayon that I'm using right now was one of them, and then the purple crayon that I use after this is the other. In my crayon box there was both red violet and violet red, which is kind of confusing that they have those names. I was feeling like it was a little short on orange now, so I had to add more. This one is a lighter shade of orange. I think it's called yellow orange. Finally using my regular orange now, but I was like, no, I need to add some purple before I run out of space. There's a lot of orange on this corn and not enough purple. And going back in with the orange now, filling in spaces that I still have left. And you want to just kind of look closely at this point because like most of your kernels are going to be colored in, and there'll be like one lonely white kernel that hasn't been colored in yet. So you just kind of want to look closely and make sure you've gotten all of those little spots colored in. I went back in with yellow, my favorite color. And then this is when I took my yellow crayon and I went back over the husks because I felt like they just needed to be a little bit more yellow in tone. You can probably see the slight difference there as I layer over. Ah, there we are, all done. It is complete.
Alrighty, artists, great job. So now here you have it, your very own Thanksgiving corn that you've drawn and colored and made beautiful. So if you could post a picture of your completed artwork, I would love that. So you've got a couple of options when it comes to posting. You could take a photo of your artwork where it is just your artwork in the photo. Now remember that you want it to be nice and big in the picture, and I want to be able to see all 4 corners of your paper, okay? And remember, the easiest way to do that is just by setting your artwork on the ground and then holding your iPad above it to take that photo, so it's nice and it's square and it fits in that frame well, and it's not like at a weird, strange angle on your table. Another option is to have someone at home take your picture of you holding your artwork with your big, beautiful smile. So I can see you and I can see your artwork. So those are a couple of ways you can take your photo. Thank you so much for joining me in our Thanksgiving art project. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will see you all soon. Bye.